This is the story of how inspired action can change a dream into reality. It all began with the vision of one man to manifest heaven on earth.
It was on a Monday, the first day of the week, on July 23rd, 1990, that World Pranic Healing was established in a small office in Manila. Humble beginnings, nevertheless, with a grand vision.
The first office that the foundation occupied was very small. They had 2 tables and 1 chair. So most of the staff would have to use boxes or stack of books to sit on.
The light was ignited, and soon enough, its sparkle was impossible to contain. The sparkle moved from that tiny office in Manila to other places, country to country, one at a time.
The first country was Indonesia, followed soon enough by India.
I am Bernardus Prasaja from Pranic Healing Indonesia. I have started learning Pranic Healing directly from Grandmaster Choa since 1994. Grandmaster Choa has entrusted me to teach Pranic Healing since 1996.
Thousands of seeds were sown, giving rise to a rich forest of light, love, and power. In no time, many souls came to seek shelter in this forest and were welcomed with open arms. Together, they worked towards making this dream reality.
Sri Ram recalls how Dr. Sundaram helped establish Pranic Healing in India.
Talking about pranic healing in India, for me, would not be complete without talking about Dr. C. Sundaram, an amazing man. And Dr. Sundaram went over from Bangalore to attend these classes, and he offered Master Choa resources in Bangalore to help spread pranic healing throughout India. And it was through Mr. Sundaram's contacts that pranic healing started spreading to other cities in India, and of course from India to many other parts of the world. So Dr. Sundaram was an invaluable initial member of the pranic healing community in India. Thank you, Dr. Sundaram.
It wasn't as easy as one may have thought it to be. Faith was our only ally, and it did move mountains.
A sense of deep devotion to the Guru, combined with the desire to bring glory to the Guru and his teachings, was the driving force within me for spreading pranic healing throughout Middle East and North Africa region.
Follow the simple instructions is what Grandmaster Choa always said, and that's exactly what Amir Khonsari did.
So the important thing here is, if you believe in the teacher, you do what he wants, because he sees further than you. It was amazing. He just told me, go to Turkey and start teaching there. And I just follow his instructions. I just booked my ticket. I was in Taksim Square without knowing anyone and without having any connection to Turkey. This is how Pranic Healing started in Turkey in 2006.
The teachings were for all. No one was left out, even if it meant seemingly difficult places and difficult environments.
The actual thing was that I see a lot of West Africans and Africans in sub-Saharan Africa suffering from ill health simply because they don't have the funds to buy medicines or they don't have access to healthcare. And once I learned Pranic Healing and had practiced this, I found it was very effective, very effective. It was really amazing. And this really motivated me to ask for the trainers to come down, Master Danny and Sriram, to come down and start teaching Pranic Healing here in West Africa.
The work touched the lives of millions of people, across sections of society. A man with not just goodwill, but the will to do good. Master Choa inspired people to help one and all. The light grew further, and as it spread, success stories were not an uncommon thing. Let's hear these stories from the miracle workers themselves.
Master Choa was an amazing person with a huge heart, and nothing was too small for him. At breakfast, he shared a story of how two sisters shared one sari in a small village in Rajasthan in India. And from that moment, he got us to do a project to distribute saris, 65,000 of them, to the women in different rural areas and villages of India. This was amazing. It started off with 1,000 and ended up with 65,000.
A true humanitarian, he could not see people go hungry.
It was Master's dream to see a world free from hunger, and he inspired us to act. Today, together we feed hundreds and thousands of people, moving one step closer to fulfilling Master's vision.
Master Choa appreciated everyone, and as a true spiritual father, he gave us a home to call our own. The GMCKS Arhatik Yoga Ashram, a unique spiritual home for all practitioners to gather together, practice, study, and celebrate his vision. And what a story that is.
In 97 January, when Francis was here, we were talking about this land at Munshi, which my cousin took me to see. And it was so beautiful that I decided straight away, let's get some land. And I believe Master got to hear about it. So the next year we had to take him to see the land.
The initial location where Master Choa saw property for the ashram is not where the ashram is today. It was a nearby location where Master Choa initially looked at buying 5 acres. But within a few days, he started increasing the land he felt we needed to 10 acres and more. And the real estate agent said that there wasn't enough land he had in that first location. So he recommended the current site, where he said he had 100 acres and more, and that is what Master Choa decided to buy, 100 acres for the Arhatik Yoga Ashram. And today we have more than 125 acres in that area. Grand Master Choa Kok Sui's vision was to have 1,000 Arhatik yogis meditating at the ashram every day.
Master Choa Kok Sui's wish is to create leaders, not followers, and his legacy lives on even today after he left his physical body. He guides and inspires his disciples every day.
In a dream, Master looked straight into my eyes and said, "Start Vietnam." And this was after he left his physical body. No limitations. His legacy continues.
Our teacher, Grand Master Choa Kok Sui, continues to live in our hearts through his simple yet powerful teachings, taught by well-trained instructors around the world that cater to every aspect of life.
What we are saying basically is that there are several major global problems, and the World Pranic Healing Foundation provides some of the solutions. With health problem, we have pranic healing. With financial problem, we have Kriya Shakti. With relationship problem, we have Kriya Shakti plus sacred sex. With emptiness, lack of spirituality, we have Arhatic Yoga and sacred sex.
Where there's a will, anything is possible.
For those who have visited the World Pranic Healing Foundation, you will notice that the office is extremely small. I mean, it doesn't occupy one whole building. In spite of the limited size and the limited number of people, still we are able to influence the world. The reason why we are able to influence the world, With so limited number of people and limited financial resources, still we are able to produce dramatic and effective impact in the world. Why? Because of the will to serve, the will to do good. Having goodwill alone is not enough. You must act on it. You must make a firm resolution to do something about it. Thank you.
In the energy world, like attracts like. And thus many souls started to come together to learn, to practice our Hatha Yoga with one pointed effort towards manifesting Master's dream, heaven on earth. Master Choa used to say, be like water. You must flow around obstacles. The current pandemic has brought in a difficult time for the entire world. However, the World Pranic Healing Foundation continues to work, adapting to the new normal with online nurturing sessions, group meditations to bless the entire earth, and also spearheading charitable activities all over the world.
Master Choa began his work in the Philippines, but his vision encompassed the entire world. Master Hermie recalls his words at the launch of one of his books.
About 28 years ago, on several occasions, I can still clearly hear him say, "Today, the Philippines. Tomorrow, the world."
Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui was a true visionary. He was looking ahead with clear vision. Master Faith recalls a conversation with him just a few hours before he left his body.
Our beloved teacher, Master Choa Kok Sui, is truly a visionary. He looked at me and said, "Yes, Faith, there will be world crisis. Listen, tell everyone about my 2020 clear vision that pranic healing is a spiritual way of life, and our Hatha Yoga is a way of spiritual leadership. Pranic healing in our Hatha Yoga are very practical and relevant as spiritual technology. The legacy I have to leave behind to address the crisis of humanity, especially in 2020. This will attract spiritually mature souls that will be molded to help carry my noble mission to alleviate the pains and suffering of humanity.
Today, 30 years later, the dream lives on. The spark of energy continues to gather momentum and spread far and wide as we are constantly reminded of Master Choa's instructions in our hearts and in our minds.
Practice diligently. Purify yourself. Learn the teaching.
The School of Pranic Healing and Hatha Yoga is truly spiritual technology. There are numerous techniques to help heal ourselves and our loved ones, physically, emotionally, mentally and spiritually, and also to manifest success and prosperity. It is truly a gift from the great ones.
On the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the World Pranic Healing Foundation, we joyfully remember each and every person who has helped us reach where we are today. Each and every effort, every support, every workshop, every contribution is priceless, and we celebrate all that has been and will be in the years to come. For we know it is all a step closer to that vision of manifesting heaven on earth.
That, dear friends, is Grandmaster Choa Sui's vision. We invite you to join us to be a part of the mission to manifest heaven on earth. So be it.
So be it.
So it is.
Did I say something?